When I was doing my summer scouting, the tight end class was viewed as an incredibly weak group. Michigan's Colston Loveland was the consensus number one tight end on the board, and nobody else was particularly close. But out of the blue, a couple of players have put up unbelievable numbers and are propelling themselves into legit tight end one conversations. One of those guys is Penn State tight end Tyler Warren. Warren has been the number 2 tight end at Penn State for most of his career, but he has been given the tight end 1 role this year, and he is putting up historic numbers at the tight end position. How high could Tyler Warren end up going in the 2025 NFL Draft? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon, where if you join as a free member, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide with well over 500 prospects and scouting reports. It is some of my best work, and if you enjoy my NFL draft content, I highly recommend checking it out in the link below. Leave a comment and let me know which players you guys want to see in a future video, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Tyler Warren. Warren really hasn't had a ton of production in his collegiate career, but luckily, numbers don't tell the full story. In 2023, he had 34 receptions for 422 yards and 7 touchdowns on the season, and while he was good, really didn't have much impact in the receiving game for the Penn State offense. Their offense was all over the place, but his 2024 season thus far has been incredible. So far, he's put up 47 receptions for 559 yards and 4 touchdowns. This is all capped off by a historic game against USC where he tied the FBS record for receptions in a game with 17. But not only has he produced in the receiving game this year, Warren also has a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown for Penn State, and he's been a massive riser in the tight end class. Warren has phenomenal size for the tight end position. He is 6'6", 261 pounds, and he has the ideal frame to play the tight end position at the NFL. He's played literally everywhere for the Penn State offense, particularly in 2024. He's played in line, in the slot, taken some snaps in Wildcat, took a snap at center. His size is incredible, and it's a big selling point of his game. Warren has shown to be a very reliable blocker throughout his tenure at Penn State. For the first few seasons of his collegiate career, he really wasn't used much as a passing threat unless it was in the red zone. But he was a very productive blocker, particularly in space. He is a powerful blocker who has great technique, and when he was on the move, made some pretty impressive plays. But because of his size, he also had the base and ability to play in line as a helper in pass protection. I thought he chipped really well as an extra pass blocker, and I thought he's an awesome blocking tight end that has a really good skill set to profile to the next level. The tight end position is becoming one that is more and more important to the passing game, and Warren has improved drastically as a receiving threat for the Penn State offense. To put it into perspective, in all of 2023, Warren was targeted 49 times on the entire season. This season, he has already been targeted 57 times, surpassing his total from last year. And he has improved in just about every receiving metric. Penn State has found ways to get him involved in the offense and line him up everywhere. The best part about Warren is his reliability. He doesn't drop the ball, and he does an awesome job of making sure the football is secured before he turns his body to run after the catch. He's also a very contested catch threat, which is why Penn State has used him so much in the red zone throughout his entire career. He has a 65% contested catch rate throughout his collegiate career, and he's a great jump ball red zone threat. I can't say enough positive things about what Warren has done in the receiving game and how much he has jumped up my board because of it. There are 2 big areas of Warren's game that I would really like to see him improve upon. For one, as a run blocker, I felt like he had a little bit of inconsistency. He took some really bad angles at times, completely missing his assignment, and it led to his player getting tackled. I would like to see just a little bit more consistency as a run blocker and landing blocks at a bit of a higher rate. But the biggest area of concern with me when it comes to Warren is his overall athleticism. He's just not a very explosive athlete in any way, and it shows up in a few areas. He doesn't have very good burst off the line of scrimmage. His first step is very mediocre, and he's unable to separate because those slower steps kind of continue. As a route runner, he's not super quick, and he's not able to sell his routes or break out of them particularly quickly. I also think Penn State asks him to run a very simplified route tree where he kind of settles down in the soft spots of the zone, and he's not asked to attack the middle of the field all that much, at least as a deep ball threat. And he's been productive there, but I wish we could see a little bit more nuances in his route running. When Warren does catch the ball, it also feels like he's very limited after the catch. He's got good numbers after the catch, but he's not super elusive. He doesn't do an awesome job of making guys miss in the open field, and while he has been better in 2024, it's still an area that I'm not super impressed with. Tyler Warren has been a big riser for me in this draft class. I was not a really big fan of what I saw in summer scouting, but he has jumped up my board a ton. It's amazing what happens when you get talented player the ball in their hands, and I think he has a very versatile skill set at the NFL level. He started as my number 8 tight end, and he has jumped up to my number 2 tight end in the class, but it really is a 1A, 1B, and 1C between him, Colston Loveland, and Harold Fannin. Warren has been an incredible player this year, and he's the number 35 overall player on my draft board. In terms of a scheme fit, Tyler Warren is a very versatile player. He has played 37% of his snaps in line this year and 45% of his snaps in the slot. I think because of his blocking abilities and his ability to be used in line better than what you get from most tight ends, that's where I'd like to see him at the NFL level. Obviously, he won't be limited to just playing attached to the line of scrimmage, but I love what he offers as a blocker, as an extra chipper, and I think he would be perfect for a heavy wide zone rushing attack. A scheme that uses a lot of play action where he can get open in the middle of the field, but also be a helper in the blocking game. And I think that might be where he's got an advantage over some of the other tight ends in this draft class. My player comparison for Tyler Warren is Green Bay Packers tight end Tucker Kraft. Kraft is a player who was viewed as more of the blocking type of tight end when he was coming out of South Dakota State, who was still unpolished as a receiver, but he has quickly turned himself into a stud in Green Bay. Yes, he is still a great blocker, but he has been really explosive as a receiver, having some big plays, showing the yard after catch potential with very reliable hands. I think Warren can be a very similar type of player at the next level and can be used in the same way as both a blocker and receiver. Tyler Warren is unstoppable. He is such a versatile offensive chess piece who can be used in the blocking and receiving game. And with his size and consistency, he can be an awesome player at the next level. I am a big fan of his, and he continues to jump up my board, and I believe that Tyler Warren will be a top 50 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.